Hey, good evening and welcome to TechMix.tv.
Boom.
We are so excited that you guys have tuned in with us tonight. We are streaming live from San Marcos, Texas and SMTX.tv.
Boom again.
Using the Coolabite technology. We are so pumped that you're here tonight to be with us. We got a great show planned. We're basically a couple of guys just trying to help make technology work for you. And I want you to say hello to my good friend, Dominic.
Hey out there, Team TechMix. It's good to see you tonight. Can't wait.
All right. So what do we got going on out there in the tech world tonight, baby?
Before we get into our Tech Sec, which is our news segment, I want to say to you guys out there that Randy and I love doing this for you guys, and we couldn't do this without you guys. We love talking to you guys about technology, and what we want you guys to think of, let's say throughout the week, and this week is what I want you guys to do, is every time you hear a technology story or someone at work is talking about some kind of piece of technology, I want you guys to think TechMix.tv. TechMix.tv. And I want you to think about it and send us an email, a Twitter, a text message, any of that, and we'll talk about it next week on the show. We want you guys to be able to even drive the show, what we're going to talk about, so we can answer the questions you have about the technology you're working with every day in your life. That's really our goal here, and we love doing that with you guys.
You know, y'all can even log in to our face page at facebook.com/TechMixTV and send us a message there. That would be tremendous. Well, guys, we got a great show planned tonight, and we're going to take a look at the news. There's a lot of stuff going on. If you have not heard, there's all kinds of stuff going on out there in the tech news. So what's going on out there this week?
Well, the first thing I want to talk about is a few weeks ago we mentioned the Best Buy buyback program. And if you were watching the Super Bowl this past weekend, they actually had a commercial about the buyback program. And that's basically that technology moves very fast. And what Best Buy is trying to do is get out there and say, if you buy a cell phone, iPad, Android tablet, computer, anything like that, well, what you can do is basically buy almost a warranty on it, and if you bring it back within a certain amount of time, they'll give you so much money towards another purchase at Best Buy. And why this is news now, even though we've already talked about it, is from February 6th, which was a couple of days ago, all the way through February 26th, they're actually giving away this program for free. So when you go buy a laptop, you can opt in for the buyback program. And if you return that thing within 6 months for the next, the bigger, better deal, then you're going to get half of what you spent towards that next computer, which is really a good deal. I really like that Best Buy is doing this. It's easy for them to do, and it's a great way to recycle old technology. After 6 months, that's ancient history.
That's right. And it's a good deal for people that maybe are a little fearful from selling on Craigslist, with all the horrible stories you hear about that, although it's mostly relatively almost completely safe, but there's still some risk there. And even selling it on eBay. If you sell it on eBay and somebody doesn't like it and they send it back to you, well, then you've probably lost all your profit there just with the extra shipping that you paid out. So it's a pretty good little deal, and I'm pretty excited to see them go to free. What, to the end of the month, basically, they're going for free?
Basically, it's till February 26th.
Pretty sweet, man. Yeah. So what else is going on out there?
Well, this is something that Randy really got me into Gmail, right? I mean, I used all of Google's products for a long time. Google Docs I've been using almost since they first came out with it, but I really never took hold of Gmail. And one of the first shows I was on, we talked about Gmail and how great it is and how powerful it is and how you can use it to really manage all of your email accounts. Well, Gmail has had this new kind of feature. They've had it for a while, actually, the priority inbox. But why it's news today is that they've just introduced it to your mobile devices. So, Randy, talk about that, why that is a big deal, and how that can really help someone kind of sort through their emails.
Right. Well, it's been out on the Android for a while. So I'd say a couple of months, and then came out for the iPhone like in the last day or two. The whole priority inbox. It's where their computer decides or tries to decide on your email what's important. They already do a really good job figuring out what spam is. And so, maybe they do a pretty good job figuring out what's important. So basically,
trust in Google.
That's right. It's basically just a little tag. It's a little yellow arrow thing, and it puts a label on it that says important.
Right.
Me personally, I haven't been using it since it came out because I like to, I'm just like that, I like to label what I think's important, and I've got my own little way of doing it. But a lot of people really are digging this whole important thing, and now to have it on your iPhone is pretty sweet. So pretty cool little addition there.
Yeah, someone like me as well is my inbox is rarely more than 5 or 6 emails, just because I'm a freak about keeping it low. But for some people who just there's 40 emails a day, right? And this is great for those people who it will sort the information, the important stuff up to the top,
right?
And the priority inbox is almost like a T1000, a learning computer, right?
Wow.
That was Arnold, by the way. It learns from your decisions, right? That was rough. It learns from your decisions that you make what's important to you. So the more you use the feature, the more it learns what's important to you, which is creepy.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, though.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, and I like to keep my inbox at 50 or less because that's what fits on a browser page, like Chrome or the Firefox or whatever, that's what fits on a browser page. So I like to keep it at 50. That way I can see everything. And the priority mail has actually increased that limit. Mm-hmm. I think you still get your 50 plus all that other stuff at the top, and I just didn't go there, but I know a lot of people are using it and are really digging it. And I think it's especially cool that they have it now on the iPhone, which is which is a pretty sweet little deal.
Yeah, old news for you Android folks, but anyone who has an iPhone.
2 months. I mean, that's like 2 years in computer
that
talk.
is like 2 years. I mean, you might as well have an iPhone 5.
We already had it. We already had it and got tired of it.
Yeah, boring. So, interested about see you guys. How many of you guys using that feature, or who might try this feature? So, if you are using it or are thinking about trying it, hey, give us a call. It's a great time to mention our phone number.
That's right.
For calling and texting. You guys can call or text us at 512-843-2835.
Wow.
Bang, nailed it. Or send us a tweeter at TechMixTV or on our face page at facebook.com/TechMixTV.
Yep. And they can also send an email if you're into that kind of stuff, info@techmix.tv. Do many people use email anymore these days? I'm not sure about that.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of new stuff, and we wanted to let you know this because our mission for the show is to make technology accessible and understandable so you can make your lives better. And this next little tidbit of news really fits into our mission, and you'll understand why after we kind of talk it out a little bit. We just heard some rumors, like today, right? Mm-hmm. That there's a new MacBook that's going to be released, next month?
March, right.
Yeah, in March. And so here's why that's important. It's not so important like the specs and all that stuff because, it'll have better specs than the MacBook Pro that's out now. It'll be more cool. It'll introduce some stuff that's awesome. You know that. But the fact that it's coming out in a month and a half, I would be a real leery of going out right now and paying full price for a MacBook unless you went somewhere where they knew that a new one was coming out and you were able to get a better price, So you want to kind of think about that. We had a few shows ago, somebody called in and they asked about, the iPhone, when does it come out? When should we buy? And if it's going to come out in June, should we buy one, right now? Blah, blah, blah. Well, it's just good to know that stuff's going to happen, So the rumor out there is that the MacBook Pro is going to come out with a new version next month. So keep that in mind if you're thinking about buying a MacBook. Maybe it'd be a good idea if you're cool with the one that's out now. Wait another 4 or 5 weeks, and you can probably get one on Craigslist for a little less than you could now. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because someone will run out and buy a new one, kind of like what you're going to do with your iPad.
That's exactly what I'm going to do when the iPad 2 comes out. I'm going to sell this old, decrepit piece of ancient technology.
What were we thinking? Ever thinking that iPad was cool once the new one comes out?
Lame.
It's just going to be total crazy. So you think you might get the new MacBook or what?
In fact, this is great news, and I myself was helped by the TechMix.tv news because we're actually looking to purchase a new MacBook Pro. And, we can wait a month. And if the rumors aren't true, this is the thing with rumors, right, is sometimes they're true, sometimes they're not true. It's the nature of a rumor, obviously. But just in case you didn't know.
Yeah, that's deep stuff.
We'll put a link to define rumor on our face page later. But What's good about it is that you can get ahead of yourself with rumors, though.
Right.
You know, you start stressing yourself out, and you always want to wait for that next piece of technology.
Right.
And you'll stress yourself out doing that because it's always going to get better.
Right.
So it's just a matter of when you want to make that purchase. So I myself, we're going to wait a month, see how it pans out. And I mean, it has been almost a year since Apple has updated their MacBook Pro line, and that's kind of a long time. So it's about time for a redo. So we're excited about it.
That's pretty sweet. You know, and another thing that we're going to talk about tonight, for most people, it's not going to be that big a news. I mean, wouldn't you say, like, for 99% of everybody, it's not that big a deal. But IP, like IP address, that's what you have, you know, like at your house. If you have a router, sometimes at work, they give you an IP address you have to enter in. I mean, most people have at least heard of that. Well, and a lot of people have to use it for their jobs and stuff. Well, there's a new version coming out. The current one, I believe, is what, like 12 numbers long, and this other one's like, you know, like this long. I don't know how long it is exactly, but instead of just using numbers, it has hexadecimal. So they're planning on this, you know, being enough to last for like the next, you know, I don't know, 10 years, 50 years, whatever.
And the reason, one of the reasons that they're doing this is. I mean, this might be a little too geeky for some of you out there, but
it's kind of like that last bit of news.
Well, here's what it is. Okay, everybody has a TV, right? I mean, I don't want to. Yeah, okay, everybody has a TV. Well, do you remember when they made a big deal about switching from analog to digital? This is a lot like that, where a lot of you won't even know that you were affected, but everyone's going to get affected. So. The thing with IP addresses is kind of like with phone numbers. Eventually, we're going to run out of numbers, right? There's only so many 10-digit combinations you can have. And that's the same thing with IP addresses. It's only 12 numbers long, or 10 or 12 numbers long, and eventually you're going to run out of them. And in fact, what a lot of companies do is they cycle the IP addresses, right? So if you're online with Time Warner or Grande or Comcast or wherever your internet provider is, they cycle those IP addresses. So a lot of times your IP address at your home is changing. And what they count on is not everyone who's a Time Warner customer being online at the same time. So they have a certain amount of IP addresses that they cycle. So this is probably something you'll never have to worry about ever in your life. As long as you keep your technology and your software and everything updated, you'll be good to go when this switch happens.
Right. You know, in phones that really can't be updated, that'll probably be a problem. That's really the main reason for this, is the explosion of smartphones needing access to the internet, everybody needing access to the internet. And I just looked it up while you were talking, Dom. They're going from 12 digits to 28 digits, it looks like. So, you know, that'll last us at least another 20 years probably till those start to
I don't know,
at
the rate smartphones are going, that's one of our stories later. At the rate smartphones are selling, I mean, we'll probably be out in a couple of years.
Yeah, probably 2 years.
Then we're going to do. Then we're going to go to 12 a hexadecimal.
Yeah. Man, the days of knowing your IP address in your head are going to be over.
Right.
For those geeks like us that know that kind of stuff. So another pretty cool piece of news. This weekend, T-Mobile has announced, speaking of smartphones, T-Mobile has announced that all their smartphones are going to be free if you sign up for a 2-year plan. Now, they have some pretty cool smartphones.
They really do.
That's a pretty good deal right there. Like the Android G2, you know, that thing will cost you $300-400 easy on Craigslist to buy that new. You could get that for free. You know, several other. So we just want to let you guys know about that. If you were going to sign up, you know, now would be a good time to wait for 3 more days and get a free one this weekend from T-Mobile.
T-Mobile's phones are legit, man. They have a really good selection of phones. They don't have the iPhone yet, which they have just so many cool phones. They have the MyTouch, right, 4G.
MyTouch 4G.
That which is a great phone.
Android.
I've always been impressed with T-Mobile's phones. I had to leave when the iPhone came out just because that's the kind
So
of
you
guy
used to be a T-Mobile guy.
Oh, big time. I was T-Mobile since they were voice stream.
Wow,
Jamie
me too,
Lee Curtis,
man.
you know what I mean?
Wow, Jamie Lee
Keeping
Curtis.
it real.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So. Anyway, go check them out. If you're planning on starting a new line, if you're going to update or whatever it was, T-Mobile's got great phones out there.
Yeah, sweet. So
it is sweet.
Speaking of free phones, okay, and speaking of phone explosion that you mentioned a little while ago, man, the last quarter, man, smartphones have exploded and have sold actually more than PCs, like in the history of like computers, right?
Yeah.
I mean, tell us a little bit about that, man.
So this explosion that Randy keeps mentioning is So the fourth quarter of 2010, and a quick little history on quarters. It's the last 3 months of a year. The fourth quarter of 2010.
I thought it was 25 cents.
Yeah, well, that's close. So the last quarter of 2010, worldwide, there was more smartphones sold than personal PCs.
Wow!
And that is the first. Yeah, thanks. That is the first time that has happened in the history of the world.
That's right.
In recorded
history.
Right, if you will. So what that boils down to in numbers is the fourth quarter of 2010 there was over 100 million smartphones sold.
That's crazy.
Worldwide, right? And there was only 92 million personal computers. But check this out. The 100 million in smartphones was an 82% jump year over year,
right,
which is gigantic. That's the explosion that you were talking about.
Right.
And with the PCs, that was still higher than last year's.
Wow.
Right? 92 million was 5.5% higher than last year's. So PCs are still growing. They're not slowing down. It's just that the smartphones are just taking over.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome. 100 million.
100 million.
That's like a million times 100.
Almost.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's really close.
That's amazing. Well, we want to take just a little break in the news here to give you one of our many mentions tonight of a sponsor. We have a new sponsor tonight, Panhandlers Pizza here in San Marcos, Texas. We are super stoked about that. We appreciate those guys. We love Panhandlers. Like for us, it's what's like the highlight of our week after the show,
yeah,
and a couple other things. Panhandlers is high on that list, right? We love Panhandlers Pizza. It's a great place to eat pizza. Wonderful pizza, man. A lot of toppings and stuff like that. So we're super stoked about that, and we want you guys to go out there to Panhandlers and tell them TechMix.tv sent you.
Yeah, you really should.
Yeah, you could say Dom sent you or Randy sent you, but just let them know. Let them know that you appreciate them sponsoring the show, keeping the bills paid, keeping us on the air.
Bang.
I'm super excited about that. And on top of that, here's some news for you, man. They've given us some gift certificates. And so tonight, what we're going to do, we're going to draw from people that if you text, call, email, tweet, Facebook, whatever, if you contact us tonight with a question or a comment, we're going to draw for a $20 gift certificate at Panhandlers. So super stoked about that.
Yeah, it's really great. You guys can check them out at facebook.com/panhandlerpizza. And they're always running specials, and they'll keep you updated there. Great guys over there, and the pizza's great, obviously, but what we were talking about earlier is their salad bar is legitimate, and that might sound however you think it might sound. For those of you judging me out there,
is it high tech?
Well, no, it's not high tech, but it's got a great selection. And I'm not usually a big fan of salad bars, but they got it going on here in San Marcos, so you guys got to check them out. Panhandler Pizza.
Sweet, rock on.
Boom.
So don't forget, call, text, email, Twitter, Facebook, any of that stuff. Our phone number, 512-843-2835. Give us a text, give us a call. We'd love to hear what you think. So next on the news, Last FM. They've decided to stop their free streaming option for mobile phones. Why is that a big deal, Dom?
Well, the big deal with that is that, first of all, they've had it for quite a while since they opened up, right? And basically Last.fm is really a competitor of sites like Pandora, Slacker Radio, and you can kind of same kind of a concept as Pandora is you plug in a song and it starts giving you songs like that, and you can like it or not. Or same kind of concept, and pretty soon they're going to be stopping their free version, which is ad supported, and they have a non-ad version, which is $3 a month. Not bad. The reason that this is news and why this seems like a weird strategy is that Pandora, Slacker Radio, things like this, they're still going to have a free option. And for Last.fm to just get rid of that completely, it just seems odd that that a company like that would take away something like that that's already been there and kind of put them in the market. If you have a Windows phone, a Windows 7 phone, or if you have it on Xbox, you can still have the free listing there.
Sweet.
But everywhere else it's supported, you're gonna need to bump it up.
Well, I bet you those 100 million smartphones had something to do with it.
Possibly.
Maybe they're pulling down more than they're paying for.
Yeah.
And these kind of things, we don't like to hear this kind of news, because what if now the other services start to follow suit with this? Last FM. It's one of their big things is they take what you like, which is what Pandora does also, and they plug it into their database, to try to give you more recommendations of other songs. And they've they have options. Like I have Last FM on my iTunes, and it's not something that I listen to. It just monitors what I listen to of my own music. It uploads that, and then it gives me suggestions later.
That's really cool.
That's the only way I've really ever used Last FM. Now I do know on the mobile version you could just stream music. I guess you can do that online also. But we always hate to hear when something that's free and cool is now no longer offered, as a free version.
Still cool though.
Right. Oh. So if you have like an Xbox Live account, can you still play?
Yeah, still free if you listen to it through your Xbox Live account at home. Yeah.
So they're not going to pull the apps.
No. It's not that it's just gonna stop streaming it for free.
For free.
Yeah.
For free. Okay. Well, cool. Well, we have like 3 or 4 Xbox accounts at home, so we're good there. I'm sure one of them will work for Last FM. So, which, by the way, did you hear Xbox is now offering a family pack? Did you hear about that? Yeah, it's like a 4-pack. It's like $30 a person or something like that. No, it's $99 for like a 4-pack. It's
for the year.
Yeah. So
why would you need multiple online accounts?
Because like at our house, the games we play, we like to keep separate. Like my 15-year-old wouldn't want me in a million years playing a ranked game on his profile, because his KD spread is so big. I'd mess it up if I just got in there.
But can't you have separate profiles logged into the same Xbox?
No. Well, you can do that, but on the live account, it goes. You only get 1 profile per paying account on the gold. So,
gotcha.
Yeah. So we have 3 at home, and so it would save us $20. But we're not going to do it because we already bought those anyway. That's kind of cool too. So
I feel like when you say you have 3 Xbox accounts, like it's on Back to the Future. Remember when he said he had 2 TVs? Yeah. They're like, no one has 2 TVs. Yeah. I feel like that when you say you have 3 Xbox accounts.
Yeah, we have 3 Xbox accounts.
That's fancy.
Well, you've got my 15-year-old who's like he's almost pro at this,
right?
And then you've got my 10-year-old who's on his way to being pro, and then you've got me,
who listens to Last FM.
Exactly, full-time job, 4 kids, all these other things I'm doing. I get to play like once a week. So they don't want me messing up their stats. So I got to have my own account for that. Oh, last big piece of news.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna let you announce one because this is huge, man. I was gonna let you announce it. Okay, I'm gonna announce it. It's on you. The camera's on you, baby. Yeah, right. He's faking it. He's faking it.
Last big piece of news, and if you have been under a rock or did not watch the Super Bowl or do not watch television or do not keep up with anything at all, Verizon Wireless.
There might be somebody that's like, what?
Well, and that's okay, and that's why we do the news for folks like you and for everybody. So Verizon Wireless has picked up the iPhone 4. Big deal. Huge deal. And it's finally being released here in the next couple of days. Actually, I think we have one of the iPhone commercials from Verizon we want to show you guys. And for those of you out there who love the iPhone but had no intention ever of leaving your Verizon network, the reliability that it has, the service that you have, this goes out to you guys. So I want you guys to check out this video real quick, and we'll come right back.
To our millions of customers who never stopped believing this day would come, thank you.
So those of you guys have been patiently waiting for the iPhone to come onto your network. The wait's over, ready to go, full speed ahead this week. We had a question come in that actually addresses what we're talking about with the iPhone. So I'm going to read it here. The question is, are they coming out with a new iPhone before June or July that you know of? Because that's when I get my new phone upgrade.
Man, great question.
It is a great question. A lot of people want to know this.
Right.
In fact, like what we mentioned earlier, people are almost scared to buy a new iPhone because they think that 6 hours after they buy it, the new one's going to come out. That's the fear that not necessarily Apple, but the technology has put in us. So what do you think? What are your thoughts there?
Man, I think that's a great question because a lot of people were saying when they announced the iPhone on Verizon, what was that, about 2 months ago that they announced it?
Yeah.
When they announced it, a lot of the bloggers came out and said, right away, well, you're kind of buying an obsolete iPhone because it's coming out. You can get it. I think you can get it this Friday, as early as this Friday. So you get it February 11th. Well, March, April, May, June, 4 or 5 months later, maybe July, they come out probably with a new version. Now, I would say, if I had to guess, and I don't know what you've heard, Dom, about this, and you could probably help me with some of these details, but the way the iPhone has gone so far, you haven't had this like giant jump in technology from 1 year to the next. Like you had, the 2G, which was kind of its own deal. Then you had the 3G and the 3GS, which were very similar, except one was a little faster, but it's not the end of the world faster, And then you went from 3GS to iPhone 4, which we're gonna show you guys that in just a little bit. That's a huge jump from the 3GS to the iPhone 4. Both still are really great phones, but huge jump. So this coming June or July, they'll probably come out with another model. So I guess the question is, two questions. One is,
do you feel lucky?
Yeah, do you feel lucky? I think question is one, can you wait that long? And if you can wait that long, do we think it's going to be this giant earth-shaking phone, or is it going to be an incremental upgrade? What do you think about that?
I honestly, and I was just talking about this a few weeks ago with my wife, I can't see a groundbreaking feature that a new iPhone would have that would make me think I gotta go get that, other than a faster processor, right? Like the A5
dual
chip,
core,
right? Dual core. I mean, but even that, like you said, that might even be like a difference between the 3G and the 3GS, where they're basically the same phone, except one can record video and runs a little bit faster.
Right.
So with the iPhone 4, and we'll talk about this later, but iPhone 4 records video in HD. It has it takes pictures and it has autofocus. Right, it's got front-facing camera, back camera. I really can't think of anything else that they can pack into a phone other than the processor that would make anyone or me think I gotta go get this today.
Well, like I've heard, some of the newer Android phones are coming out with, I believe it's called near field technology, which is basically it's a like it doesn't have a battery, but tags that can go on things that the phone can pick it up. So you could go with your phone and go into a store and just walk by a shirt and then instantly get some information about it online. That's near field technology, but I would almost bet that the next version of iPhone would come out with that, because that's like the cutting edge thing right now.
Is that not a software
phones.
thing?
No. That's on the chip. And a lot of these chips,
okay.
a lot of these chips have the same stuff on them, and as they're made, a lot of times in Asia, as they develop them, they just put all this stuff on the chips. They'll put the Wi-Fi on the chips, they'll put different things like that. Which, by the way, did you know that the new Verizon iPhone actually has the chip inside of it for dual band? It actually has the chip for CDMA and the chip for GSM. It's a chip that they've used before, I think with Verizon. It's a chip they've used before, but there's no way from the outside of the phone to access that GSM part. So that's a lot of Verizon phones. If you take them overseas, you can just go to the airport, store, buy a SIM card, pop it in there, and use it over there.
I didn't know
that. They
that.
won't work over here because they lock you out, but overseas they do. So that phone has that chip in there, but there's no way to use it at this point. So it'll be kind of sweet. Well, that's how it is. It's been like that because the people that make these chips, they put as many features on there as they can, and then the manufacturers are the ones that the people that make the phones are the ones that unlock them and stuff like that. So anyway, back to Brianna's question there that came in. Should she buy one now or should she wait? Wow. Well, I'd buy one now.
Well, I would too, but I assume she's talking about Verizon.
Right.
And honestly, if you've gone this long without an iPhone,
good point.
I would hold out for 4 or 5 more months and get the new iPhone 5 or whatever Apple's going to put out. You got to wait for it. Especially, I'm not sure what Verizon's policy is going to be on updating. I know that Apple, each year you're eligible for an upgrade as long as you're paying more than $100 a month on your bill. So I'm not sure what Verizon's policy is going to be. They might do something similar, but I would wait. And I'm a huge Apple guy, and I usually can't wait for anything. But if I was on Verizon and I wasn't budging until now, I would wait the 4 months and get the iPhone 5.
Unless you had a significant other who you could give your phone
Yeah, I
to.
mean, if you have a boyfriend or a close friend who he's already got an iPod or some kind of Apple product like that, I would ask him, see what his money situation is, what he's been spending money on, and really kind of get something from him and see what you can do.
Yeah, and this Verizon launch is huge, man. They started the pre-sales. What was it, last week? They started the pre-sales like at 3 a.m. in the morning, and they were sold out. And they shut the computers down by 5 a.m. It was the biggest one-day sales for Verizon, and it all happened in 2 hours. I mean, so it's going to be off the chain as far as popular for them. So those are going to be coming out this Friday, man.
Yeah. Well, before we get to that, real quick, she actually just responded live to our statements, and she said, "Well, that was AT&T. She's with AT&T, I guess. So, gosh, I would still wait. I mean, if you haven't got Verizon or AT&T, if you haven't had an iPhone for this long, man, I would wait. I'd wait for the new one.
I have an idea. Go out right now and you can buy an iPhone 2G for about $75 to $100 in good condition, and you can buy a 3G for $100 to $125. Like on Craigslist in good condition, maybe $150, and a 3GS you can get for about $225. I paid $225 for mine about a month ago. So you could go and buy one of the older versions of the iPhone just to kind of tide you over, and just to kind of get used to it and then when the new one comes out in June or July, then go with that one.
Yeah.
Bam.
Yeah, and that's a great idea for checking with your boyfriend on his money situation. That's a great idea for just to kind of keep you tied over until iPhone 5.
Yeah.
We actually had another
5,
comment come in. This is around the iPhone. It says, I had the 3GS and thought things couldn't get any better on my phone, and then Apple made me want a front-facing camera and FaceTime. Maybe the iPhone 5 will have a feature we don't even know that we want.
Good.
Pound Team Apple.
Yeah, wow.
Seriously,
That's a pretty
though,
good question.
you gotta love Apple's marketing because they convince you that you need what they have.
Right.
Whether you're an Apple fanatic or whatever, you gotta love a company who markets exactly what they want you to have, and you feel like you have no idea that you wanted that before, but now you can't live without it. That's just genius marketing, and if you can't appreciate Apple for their products or their software or anything else, you gotta love their marketing.
Yeah, that's true. And that's the person, I guess that was Amber, made a really good point there. So I would go back to what I said a minute ago. Man, come up with $75 to $100 and go buy an iPhone 2G in good shape. You can pop your SIM card in there and use it on AT&T, and you've got something to use until this coming summer, and then you can just wait till then, and you can get on the bandwagon with everybody else. In other words, you're not going to be out of sync. I went and bought my brand new iPhone, 1 month before the new one came out. So, well, that's cool. So we want to once again just mention real quick our sponsor, Panhandler's Pizza from San Marcos, Texas. Our favorite pizza. Now, that says a lot. San Marcos has a lot of great pizza, but man, Panhandler's Pizza is by far
and
the most awesome pizza.
They actually have a location in New Braunfels as well. There's a Panhandler
Sweet.
Pizza off Loop 337 there in New Braunfels. So they're out there. Great pizza, great salad bar. So you guys got to check them out.
And the gift card that we're giving away tonight, I believe, will work at both locations. If not, you'll have to come to San Marcos and try it out.
And
there.
we've had 2 or 3 people text in, and no one calling yet. We have 2 or 3 people text in, and these guys are going to be entered in to win this. It's a $20 gift certificate, you guys, and that'll get you a whole lot of Panhandler pizza.
Sweet.
So make sure you call in, text in.
Sweet. Well, cool. So we wanted tonight, we wanted to take a little time to demo the iPhone 4. Which, by the way, Dom, did you notice on Apple's website yesterday? I don't know if it's still there or not. Maybe you can look while I'm talking. But I went to their website yesterday, and it said coming this Thursday, and it said iPhone on Verizon or something like that. And there was this real cool picture of an iPhone 4. And if you looked really close, the network said AT&T still.
Are you serious?
Somebody's going to get slapped for that. That's
Wow.
probably because maybe Steve Jobs is off for a while, that they didn't notice that or whatever. I thought that was funny. I thought about tweeting it, and I thought, no, why dig my spurs? Just wait till the show. But we wanted to take some time to talk about the iPhone 4 because a lot of people are going to be buying one this week who are on Verizon. We did a show back in December, we did a show, Android versus iPhone, and Dominic and I both, after the show, we kind of thought, it was kind of cool talking about all that stuff, but it wasn't as helpful as it could have been, because our mission here is to make things helpful. And so we decided, like a week after that, hey, let's come back in a month or so, and let's just do a show dedicated to the iPhone 4. Then we'll come back, in a month or so, and let's do a show just dedicated to Android and just help people get the most out of it. I heard somebody this weekend say, I know how to use my phone for email and for phone calls and texts, and that's it. What else can these things do? So we just want to do a little demonstration tonight of the iPhone 4 just to kind of get you guys ready if maybe you're buying one or if you already have one or if you just want to see what cool stuff does. Here's your chance to do it tonight, right? Mm-hmm. Well, sweet, man. Take it away and show us what you got, baby.
All right. So I've had an iPhone 4 since launch day. Me and a friend of mine, we drove to the Apple Store in Austin at 3 a.m. We waited in line. And
what number were you in line getting there at 3 a.m.?
Oh, gosh. You know what? It was a fluke because we got there at 3 a.m. and there was already at least 150 people there.
Sweet.
And right when we got there, about 10, 15 minutes after we got there, someone decided to say, hey, we should make a line. And we're like, hey, good idea. So we just jumped right in there at number 58. It was total shenanigans. And,
awesome.
Sorry to anybody else who waited at the Barton Creek Mall on iPhone 4 launch day.
It was you. I knew it.
We really jumped in front of a lot of people. And everybody was everybody was there to have fun anyway. Nobody was in bad spirits. But so we waited in line starting at 3 a.m. We had to wait off the mall property, right? So you couldn't wait on mall property.
That's crazy.
Until it was going to open, and so we had this weird kind of line that we walked from off the property through the parking lot to this door, and you could only enter through this door. And one of the radio station guys came by and interviewed a few people. And, we went in. It was, I want to say they opened at 6 a.m. They finally opened the mall at 6 a.m., but Apple still wasn't open. It was just opening the mall. And what was really cool is when you walked in, all the Apple employees were there cheering you on as you walked through the door. And that was so cool, man. And I love what Apple does in these kinds of companies that just really have a lot of fanfare around their products.
Sweet.
Let me know if I'm boring you. Call us at 512-843-2835. So what I want to talk about is the iPhone 4. Now, the iPhone 4, as the new features it came out with, I feel weird talking about new features. This phone's been out for 6-7 months.
But for a lot of people, it will be new features because they'll be getting one Friday.
Exactly, and a lot of people, what they've done is really ignore and don't care what the iPhone does. Or what it can do until now it's on Verizon, and all of a sudden people are going to want to know what it can do and why they need it and what they can do with it. So one of the big feature that iPhone 4 has is the front-facing camera. So what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to make a FaceTime call here on the air. And if you're watching, I'm sure you know exactly who I'm going to FaceTime.
So will you show me how to get my iPhone 3GS to do that?
The iPhone 3GS cannot FaceTime because it doesn't have a front-facing camera.
You can with a little mirror.
So FaceTime is a feature that Apple came out with, and since they've done this front-facing camera, a lot of other apps. Okay, here we're connecting right here. So right now we have my wife, Amber.
Did you prearrange that?
No, I did not. I just called her right off the top of my dome. So we're on live right now. Are you there? Check 2. Can you hear me? Nope, can't hear me.
Well, we can see her. I can hear her.
Yeah.
Okay,
hey!
There she is. So the FaceTime only works on Wi-Fi. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And what this will do is you obviously see the person you're talking to.
Hey, I see her.
And can you wave over there, hon?
Remember, she's on a delay, so you'll have to kind of hold it still.
Oh, FaceTime failed. Wow.
Yes.
That's great.
Yes.
Yeah. So what you can do is with FaceTime is obviously you can talk to the person face-to-face, or you can switch to the back camera and you can show them what you're looking at. I've done it.
Oh, that's super cool.
It is super cool, man.
Cool.
I've done it with, when we're at home or if I'm at work and here she's calling back. If I'm at work or whatever, I'll talk to my wife and my son. They're getting ready for bed. I'll be able to say goodnight to them, pray with them, and I can hey, let me see what the dog's doing real quick, and they can show me what the dog's doing.
Bless his heart.
Right,
hey.
There she is. So we actually use this quite a bit, and we talked about it a few shows ago that Skype has actually taken advantage of finally. The front-facing camera, which I'm sure they've had for Android way before Apple. But it just came out for the Skype for Apple a few weeks ago, and they've been able to really take advantage of that. And actually, Skype works on 3G, not just Wi-Fi. So that's really a great feature that they have there.
I can't get Skype and video to work on my Android phone. So
okay, bye, hon. Thanks.
So what's really
Appreciate
cool? What's really cool about the front-facing phone? That was a feature that a lot of phones in Asia had. I don't know if you know that or not, but there was never any software for them. I remember a guy bought a phone that they had over here, and he bought the Japanese version. This was like 5 years ago, and he had a front-facing camera, and I'm like, what can you do with it? Because there wasn't any software, and so they never really caught on. So it's cool that Apple has written software for that, and it's caught on. We were, just a couple weeks ago, Dominic was putting together some computers, and he FaceTimed to me. Did I have my? I guess I had my son's iPod, and he FaceTimed to me. And I love that feature where you can go from front-facing to rear-facing. Like if you're showing somebody something that's going on, you can just flip from front to rear. Pretty sweet. So what else will that little sucker do?
Well, there's all kinds of stuff, and I'm glad you asked, Randy. I just got a text to take the case off. I actually have a case to protect it. It's so sexy. If you didn't see the Verizon commercial, it's one of the sexiest phones ever made.
Wow.
I was laughing because we were at the Apple store recently with my wife, and she picked up an iPad, and she goes, "Wow, I wish the iPhone was this thin." And what I reminded her of is this is the thinnest smartphone ever made. And she wants it to be even thinner.
I thought it was some little bitty phone they had like in 1995 that was like this big.
Wow. So another bunch of things you can do is Apple. They weren't the first company to create apps, but they were really the first kind of company to really bring it all together in a simple to manage, simple to grab, simple to use app store. And so that has just blown up or exploded, as my good friend Randy would say.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, great, we got a call. Fantastic.
Another call. Wait, this is our first one tonight. TechMix.tv, thanks for calling in. Who are we speaking with?
Andrew Karanko.
Hey, what's up, Andrew Karanko?
How's it going, man?
Pretty good, man. Hey, you got a question for us tonight?
Yeah, I have a question. Going back to the iPhone 4, and you said that they're going to be coming out with an iPhone 5. How long will that be? That's not my question, but it's a question within a question. How long until the iPhone 5 comes out?
Well, that's a question. Why don't we hang up, and then Dominic and I can spend a couple of minutes answering that question.
Well, here's another question too. You guys also said that the iPhone could possibly come out with other stuff like for the iPhone 5. In your opinion, what is some new stuff that they could do? I mean, they've already done a lot with the iPhone. Like, how far could they go with the iPhone? Okay,
that's a good question. Well, hey man, why don't we we'll hang up and we'll discuss your question so you can listen to the answer. All right.
All right, cool. Thanks, man.
Hey, thanks for calling in, man. Talk to you later. And we're going to put your name into the pot for the
I got it. I got
pizza.
it on there.
There we go.
Yeah.
Talk to you later, man. Okay, so features. What could they possibly put on there that I mean, that's a hard one to answer.
Yeah,
you just don't know because wow.
We are on fire.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen.
The phones are on fire tonight. Okay, what about that other question? Write it down or something.
Okay.
TechMix.tv.
No, the other one. Hey, thanks for calling TechMix.tv. You got Dom. How can we help you?
Hey, Dom. How you doing?
Hey.
Who do we have the pleasure of speaking with?
Hey, Dom. This is Gene.
Hey, Gene. It is a pleasure, by the way.
That's right.
This is Gene Insenius.
Hey.
What's going on?
That's my pops. Shout out.
Well, thank you. Yes, sir. I had a question. There is currently right now with AT&T, we can stream voice and data simultaneously. Can we do that when we go to Verizon if we were to change providers?
Currently, you cannot. I don't know if Verizon is working on that feature, but as of right now, the Verizon network does not support voice and data at the same time on any of their phones. So that's one thing that you would lose if you were to go to the Verizon iPhone.
Right. That's pretty unique to AT&T that they developed a kind of a proprietary band that's separate. I think it's 850 that's separate that runs data. Although I have noticed sometimes on T-Mobile, my H will sometimes keep running when I'm on a phone call or something. I don't know how that's possible, but yeah, it's definitely not something that they're planning on rolling out in the near future.
Right.
Although some of the 4G stuff is really more like Wi-Fi, and there's no reason why it couldn't happen simultaneously on the chip. And definitely, almost any smartphone could handle that. So,
right.
So right now, big question mark.
All right.
Okay. Was that your only question?
Well, yeah, it's just something to consider, as opposed to staying with AT&T or maybe going over to the Verizon team.
Yeah, I would. If you're considering that jump, we talked about earlier on the show, is you may want to wait for the iPhone 5. I don't know where you are on your plan or whatever it is, or what might be causing the move, but you might want to wait for the iPhone 5, whether it be on Verizon or AT&T, and see what your options are then.
Awesome deal. Good information.
All right. Well, thanks for calling in. Your name's in the hat for a gift certificate to Panhandler Pizza here in San Marcos.
All right. Keep up the good work.
All right. Thanks.
Thanks. God bless.
All right.
Hey, back to that earlier question about what features. I would almost bet money that the new iPhone, no matter what it is, this summer will probably have that near field technology.
Yeah. How much money would you bet?
I'd bet $50 if I was a betting man.
$50?
Yeah, because you're starting to see more and more. And if I was going to bet, also, I think the other feature, I don't know that the software / hardware will be a lot different, but I almost would bet that it'd be a dual core phone also, because those are really catching on right now, big time. So I would say dual core with near field technology would be something. And near field technology is one of those things you don't know you need it until you get a bunch of phones that have it and all the cool stuff that you can do with it. It's very similar to say Bluetooth. But the device that's putting out its transmission doesn't have to have it's really cheap. Basically, there's a lot of things that you can do with it.
Right.
Well, man, so
we got questions coming in, man.
Sweet.
We got a question that came in that says, "Can an Android phone stream voice and data at the same time?" And the answer really is yes.
On AT&T,
if it's on the AT&T network, that's really not necessarily an iPhone thing. I know that everything seems to be made larger through the iPhone lens, right? But really, AT&T has really pioneered this technology. It's not necessarily an Apple thing or an iPhone thing, and any phone that's on the AT&T network can do voice and data at the same time.
Right, and it may just be that they had this leftover channel from when it was cell technology or something like that, and they just kept it and said, "Hey, let's run data on it," or something.
Yeah,
like
they were
that.
still running their old IP, I think.
Yeah,
they haven't updated the new
IP version
address.
4,
and we bring it back full circle to the
That's
news.
right.
You're
Bam!
welcome.
Now you know why to watch us.
Right.
So yeah, and I do like I said a minute ago. I've received sometimes when I'm on H, which is their 4G on T-Mobile. I've seen that the data has stayed connected while I'm talking. Now I can't talk and then initiate data, but I've seen data stay connected while I'm talking, and I just might be crazy, but there's something going on there with that.
That's
so
interesting.
So cool. So what else?
Well, one more question actually.
Yes.
Is AT&T cheaper than Verizon when it comes to the plans?
Wow.
We'll answer two different ways. If the iPhone price, it's the exact same. The iPhone price. The plans, it's very comparable. I'm not sure exactly what Verizon's plan is. I know that they have a little higher price when it comes to the data because they're going to have that personal hotspot feature,
right,
which is a new feature for the iPhone because Verizon supports that feature. So I think it's going to be $10 or $15 more a month to have that feature. So that's really the only price difference. But in the big scheme of things, there's not going to be a huge difference. So that really won't help in determining, for those of you out there looking to switch or whatever, that really won't help in determining that.
Yeah, and I'd be willing to bet money on this also, is that Verizon's probably going to match AT&T dollar for dollar.
Yeah.
They'd be stupid to do anything else,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
Yeah.
And then what they're going to do, in my opinion, is offer more features. And so what we'll do, we'll see probably, this is just me guessing, okay, but over the next 6 months to a year or so, a lot of feature wars going on, but not a lot of price difference going on. And then if that battle lasts a long time, maybe you'll see some price differentials on the plans, because Apple's going to set the price for the, for the phones, and those are going to be the same. So yeah. So
and that was a fact, or was that your opinion?
Which one?
The one
Apple sets the price for the phones.
That was your opinion. Was that
Apple
your
sets
opinion?
the price for the phones.
Oh, okay.
My opinion is that the price is going to be dollar for dollar, almost exactly the same.
Right.
But Verizon will try to beat out AT&T on features.
Sure.
Like on that commercial, getting calls. That was a great commercial. Just they show the pictures. Are we showing that one?
No, we haven't shown it. That's a great time to show it. Great segue.
Yeah. Why don't you set them up a little
All
bit
right,
while I set it up over here?
So right what Andy was saying, there's this big thing, and the one thing that the iPhone was missing, and we tried to show a video of it a couple days ago that didn't work. The one thing the iPhone was missing was the ability to make phone calls. And if you're watching the Super Bowl, there's a great commercial that kind of highlighted this for Verizon. So you guys take a look at this.
It's beautiful. It's intelligent. Even genius. But does your network work?
Yes, I can hear you now.
This is America's largest and most reliable network, Verizon, built so you can rule the air.
Yeah, so mark my words.
I love the wording that different companies use. Right, AT&T, they don't say they're the largest or the most reliable. They say they're the fastest 3G network, which is true, right? Verizon says they're the largest 3G network, which is true. And then you'll have companies like T-Mobile will say, "Come join America's largest 4G network." And I just I love
in the sky.
very selective wording that I'm going to use to cover up this sound from this video so you can't hear it. Do we have any questions come in for the iPhone 4 through that last segment? I know we're getting close on our time, guys, and we want to make sure we have enough time to answer your questions. We have another great video that we want to show you, but we want to make sure we answer all your questions. So if you have any questions on Verizon, iPhone 4, the rumored MacBook Pros, you're very concerned about your IP address and want to talk more about that, and we want you guys to call in at 512-843-2835. And not only that, but you get a chance to get in the drawing for a $20 gift certificate to Panhandler Pizza. This isn't like a $5 or $10 thing, man. This is $20. That's serious pizza.
That's serious pizza, man.
You can get a Panhandler pizza for $20, and that'll feed 9 people. Not really. It'll probably feed more
close.
Americans it'll feed 3 maybe,
Yeah.
but regular people it'll feed like 7 or 8.
A large Panhandler's $19.99, and it literally weighs like we shouldn't even try to guess. It feels like it weighs like 20 pounds.
Yeah, it's
so
fantastic,
heavy.
and seriously does feed a lot of people, and it's great, you guys. Panhandler Pizza at San Marcos and New Braunfels. You guys got to do it.
Yeah, we had this past Sunday. What do we have? 8 or 9 people, and like 2 or 3 were college kids. We had 2 or 3 adults and 2 or 3 kids, and 2 larges. We took pizza home.
Right.
They didn't even eat it all.
Yeah.
Even the college kids, they didn't even eat it all. So
no offense to the people in college and your eating habits.
So anything else that you're just dying to show us on the iPhone before we wrap up the show tonight?
The big thing is FaceTime, obviously. The thing for me that really sold me on the iPhone, besides FaceTime, is the speed, man. The speed, the processor that's in the iPhone, this isn't too nerdy, okay? So just stay with me. The processor, yeah, right. The processor in the iPhone is the exact same processor that is in the iPad currently. And that's it's the A4 chip. It's a chip that Apple has developed, and it is smoking fast. And when you get to your phone, you don't want to spend a lot of time waiting for it to load and things you got to do. You just want to tap, 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 and you're done. And the iPhone 4 is great for that. I couldn't recommend this phone more, whether it's Verizon or AT&T. I was never an advocate for AT&T. That was really just the only place you could get an iPhone. So you guys get out there and look to see if it's the phone for you, if it's the network for you, whether it be Verizon or AT&T. And don't forget, this week, when you see anything or hear anything technology, think TechMix.tv.
That's right.
And we want you guys to send us an email, face page, Twitter, Keep us updated on what the technology that's going on in your life so we can answer those questions next week on the show and really help you guys understand the technology that you're dealing with and not necessarily things that Randy and I are coming up with on a week-to-week basis.
Right. And, I have a question for you on the iPhone 4. Or
I'd love to answer it.
The iPhone in general. What would be your favorite, give me maybe your favorite 5 apps, or maybe a handful of them. Maybe you have more than 5, but so some people out there could know that are only, they're like, wow, yeah, I've got really fast email and I can phone call and do text messaging. What else can this baby do? I mean, because there's in a modern smartphone, there's more power than that put the man on the dang moon.
Right.
So what are some of your favorite apps that
no one has 2 TVs. All right. So I'll do that joke again for the camera wasn't on me. No one has 2 TVs.
Wow.
Bang, you're welcome.
Yeah.
So
classic.
What I want to do for that then, Randy, real quickly, is I won't mention the 5 apps. I'll mention 5 main things I do because there's several apps, right, for different things you want to do. Obviously, social networking. There's an app for Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn,
tons of apps.
There's all kinds of things to get you plugged in, and it's a great thing to do on your phone. Keep things updated. Other thing I like to do is control technology around me. Right, so there's a remote app, so you can control your iTunes. There's Log Me In. You can control computers that are at your house or wherever they are. So I use it a lot for that, logging into things remotely. There's reading. I have my Bible on there. I have all my books from Kindle. I have Google Books. And I do a lot of reading on there as well, so it's great for that. Some other things I do are obviously games.
Mm-hmm. Great gaming platforms.
It's so amazing the things that they've done, and it's almost like boring now. You expect the technology to do these things.
It's like having a computer in your hand.
That's what it is. And another big thing is media. It used to have, we needed to have the biggest iPhone so we could fit a bunch of movies on there. Well, now there's Netflix, there's Hulu,
right.
There's ABC TV, and you can just watch all these things straight from your iPhone, man. And those are the main areas that I use this for. And I'm not going to say it's necessarily better than what you can get on Android. I just know with the iPhone 4, with the iPhone in general, that these are great apps to have and great things to do with the phone.
Yeah, that's cool. Those are some of my favorite things too, and I'm also a big fan of Dropbox. So I love the Dropbox app, and I've downloaded another app called Save to Dropbox, which allows more of the apps to now interact with Dropbox. It's also a great way to get the apps to work together. Love that Save to Android. They also have one very similar for Evernote. Mm-hmm. It's like Save to Evernote or something like that. Same kind of principle. And Evernote's pretty big. Love Evernote
huge.
On there.
Great for productivity, taking notes, snapshots, anything you want to remember.
And I use Google Tasks on here. Mm-hmm. It's called G Tasks. It was a free one. It's a great little app. It syncs and all that stuff with your Google Tasks. Really cool. And you can move the tasks up or down, mm-hmm. which I don't think you can even do that in Chrome.
Right.
But you can move them up or down. And then also I use one called a Helipad, which is just a little notepad mm-hmm. that I can sync. I have an app for it on the iPhone, the Android, and my computer. That kind of stuff. So cool. Well, I think what we probably should do is go ahead and draw for the pizza. What should we think? We ought to just save this video till next week. We're about out of time,
let's
man.
save it to next time. We don't want to keep you guys over. We have 5 names in for the drawing, and here's what I'm going to have you do,
What
Randy.
about relatives and employees? Are they allowed to win?
Well, yes. So I'm going to randomly give these numbers, 1 through 5, and I'm going to have you pick the number. I have 5 names on here. And through no fault of my own, 3 of them are related to me. So there's 1 through 5, and I want you. I numbered them randomly. So give me a number 1 through 5.
Okay, so they're just in random order.
Yeah, I didn't order them like that.
Let's go with number 5, baby.
Number 5 is Amber Encinas. Wow, and that's not a lie. I'll throw it up here. Number 5 is Amber Encinas. I have not changed or modified the list. Boom. Amber Encinas, number 5. So,
sweet.
Looks like I'm the big winner tonight. I don't know. We may have to give mine away next week.
Or maybe she could take somebody with her, and
maybe she could take somebody and force
somebody.
them to watch TechMix.tv next Tuesday night. Man, you guys, I had such a blast tonight. Randy and I, we love doing this for you guys. Thanks so much for all the texts and the calls. Make sure you look for us on Twitter. It's at TechMixTV. And you can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/TechMixTV. Thanks so much, you guys. Make sure to send us, remember this week, thinktechmix.tv. think techmix.tv for all your technology that you're working on this week. For me and Randy, love you guys a bunch. Thanks for supporting us and for tuning in. We'll see you guys next Tuesday.
And P.S. I got the last word. See ya.
Mostly stay classy.
No, I got more.
Love you guys.